Welcome back to Studio Chatter. Thank you again, Mary. Let's get back into this.
Okay.
So now we're going to leave Ukraine over there,
Okay.
pull our audience here to Utah, and
Okay.
you have a lot of knowledge of what can we do? What can we do to help?
When I retired from Culinary Crafts, after 35 years, I founded and worked as the CEO, also dishwasher, also hauler, also cook. I mean, everything there. I realized that I was retiring from my career, but I wasn't retiring from life. And that if I plan to live till I'm 105.
You go, girl.
Perfect, and you will.
Yeah.
When you get there, will you tell us the secret?
Oh, yeah. I already can tell you that secret, but that's another one.
Okay.
And I knew that I didn't want to just sit around. And so what was it? And I felt like there was a bulletin that went out to all of Utah that said, "Hi, Mary Crafts is retired. Call her.
Oh.
She can do everything."
And now you are. You're on
And
every
I feel
board.
like I am. I do serve on 7 boards. Actually 6. I got rid of one this year. But it's not just serving on a board. There's that level of service. There's being able to donate financially. And I'm talking even if you just give $5 a month to something, that's enough to make a difference. People don't think that. What could possibly $60 do? $60
family.
in an Afghan country could do a lot.
Yeah, we have refugees
A
from
lot of
Afghanistan
yeah.
too that we're kind of forgetting about because of
Were you
the
saying that
Ukraine
you're
issue.
just recently speaking to a couple?
So let's just talk about a typical day in Mary Crafts.
Okay.
In the
Let's
last
do.
24 hours of what I've done. I need my calendar here because it's pretty disturbing. But so last night, I went out to the Unique Foundation, which at Lehigh, which is now called Sapria, which helps vulnerable populations such as those people who are dealing with childhood sexual abuse. And I talked with another group, nonprofit, My Story Matters, who deals with people who are in prison. And I asked her, how many of the people who are in your program, which you have 0 recidivism in your program, once they come into My Story Matters, how many of them were involved in childhood sexual abuse? And she said nearly 100%. Wow. So now you have that program, and then this program that's working with the survivors of childhood sexual abuse, but also now has moved to being Sapria so they can expand their mission and talking about defending innocence and expanding to preventative things with childhood sexual abuse. So I was able to connect those 2 organizations together, and that kind of work has been very meaningful to me. And so I went to that last night. Then this morning I went to a group I belong to called 100 Women Who Care. 3 different nonprofits presented, and we get to award them. And our little group, we each give $100. And that's it, just $100. But $100 when you come together with 60 women,
Equals.
it's $6,000, can I say? So think of the impact that $6,000 made. Today it was awarded to a woman who started a group called Joyfully Read. And she's teaching children and people whose language is not first language about how to read and how to find the joy in reading. Education is the way out of so many problems.
Yes.
And so she gets $6,000. That makes a difference.
Oh, that's big.
And then I came home and I did my podcast today. And so if you want to know more about me, you can listen to my podcast. But
That's amazing.
And then I went out and I met with 2 Afghan refugee women about how I can use the people I know and my resources to bring about things that they need. Right now they have 75 women in their hidden safe houses that the Taliban don't know where they are. But they'll find them. And they need to get them out. And how can we rescue them? There is another group that has operations, but it costs money to go in and pull those people out. So they need to raise funds, and so we brainstormed about how to do that. And then I raced from there to come here to you to talk about this. And then when I get home, I still have to get to the gym tonight. And
No, you don't. You need a hot bath and go to bed.
You have done enough exercise here.
But it's the way I want to live. It's the way I choose to live. I'm single. And I've been enough on Match.com that I am like, I don't want to live that way. I talk to guys and I'm like, so what do you do with your life? They're like, I golf. I'm like, and? And like, I pretty much golf 5 days a week. And when it's winter, I play tennis inside and nothing else.
Oh.
You and I would be like this.
Yeah.
You're about
You
serving
need someone who
and
can
doing
keep up
and
with you and somebody who has the vision
A
of
vision
all these
of,
good
of
things.
all the things that can happen. So
Yeah.
I've been dating now for over a year. I'm no longer on Match.com. I'm with one guy for about a year now, and he gets it.
Is he keeping up?
how sweet.
He is. In fact, he was at
Really?
this event last night, and I was honored at Sapria. And when I was up on stage speaking, I looked down, and he was crying, just with little tears. And he said, "I'm just so,
Honored to be with you.
yeah, And I'm so touched." And he's not threatened by it, which a lot of men would be, I
Right.
guess,
That
'cause
says a
I'm-
lot.
Oh, so. But he wasn't, and he's just inspired. And I went to Ukraine without him.
Uh-huh.
But if I go back, he's going with me.
Oh, that's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Mary, you're amazing. I just don't even know what to say other than that. Like, you make me want to be a better person. You made me last night listening to another podcast. I need to choose a word. I need to choose like what I want to do with my life, because you were saying that oneness. Like everything that you now do
Funnels
focuses
through
back
into
to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I truly am, let me tell you how this has changed my life. And this is a day-to-day experience. So right after I kind of claimed this as my new mission and vision in life, the very next night, John and I went dancing. We were out there dancing, doing our thing, bang, bang. And that's the days I don't have to go to the gym.
But I love it. Let's go back just a moment, because you earlier already said you're 68.
Yes.
She's
They
out
went
dancing, and
dancing
I'm
and she's
watching
like, bam, bam.
TV in my jammies.
So anyway, and onto the dance floor came this woman, and she had this little wraparound skirt, and it was like, I'm like, okay, I hope that's pulled down enough so that we don't see, whoop, whoop, and she was a little larger, and my thought went to my brain, I wonder if she looked in the mirror before she came.
Uh-huh.
And then immediately I stopped. I was like, what does that have to do with oneness? How can I possibly be judging her and critical of her if I'm one with her? And it just took me back, and suddenly John said, your dancing has changed. What's going on? And I said, I'm processing, and I'm thinking about it. And then I looked up and I looked at her and I thought, how am I like you? How are you like me? What do I have in common with you? And I thought to myself, there but for 18 years go I. At age 50, I weighed 284 pounds. And I'm half of that today.
Wow.
And I judged her based on my old self. And then when I was on the dance floor, every time I saw her, I would smile at her. And afterwards she came up and she goes, "You're such a nice person." And I'm like, thanks, But it's that thought process
Yeah.
is changing my heart.
We
And
need
how
more
I
of that.
interact with people at the grocery store, at the gas station. If somebody cuts me off in traffic, I'm like,
Give him a smile instead of
You know what?
something else.
I've done that too. You must be in a big hurry. Go.
Yes,
You go.
yes.
The fact that you recognize that about yourself and then self-correct
Yes.
says a lot about your character.
Yes, but what I really want people to understand is I'm not unique. I'm just me. I'm the little fat girl from a farm in Iowa, in a town of 250 people. If I can do this, trust me, anybody can. And the two things that they can take away from this interview is that it's never too late. And
Absolutely.
nothing is impossible.
Those are great
Beautiful.
words of wisdom.
Well,
and you apply it so well.
Yeah.
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 That's a
It's
perfect
never
close.
too late. I love that in life you're still moving forward, making those change, self-correcting. You don't reach a point and you're done. You don't reach 65 and retire. and golf. But maybe some people, maybe that's
I
where
like
some
to golf,
people
but
find
you know,
joy.
I would just do it
there's other
occasionally.
things.
There's so many other things I can fill my life with.
Yeah.
I was recently interviewing with a company I wanted to represent me in kind of a national speaking platform, and he said to me, "Now let me get this right. You're already 68. How long do you plan to do public speaking and keynotes and inspirational things?" And I said, "I don't know. You tell me. How will it look with a 90-year-old woman coming out on the stage and going, bang, bang, you know?" And he goes,
you guys.
and he's, "Okay, I got it.
If people are still coming, then yeah, I'm in.
You know, I follow a woman on Instagram who's 85, and it's called Train with Joan, and she's amazing. She's 85.
Train with Joan.
And I'm telling you, I'm going to be 85 and train like that.
Oh, 100%.
Right now, I'm the strongest woman, even at my age, at the gym. I'm not letting go.
Okay,
But
we're
you have
going to wrap up,
purpose.
but I want to know what you're drinking in the mornings and what pills you're taking. So we'll do that off air.
It's all about what I'm eating.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a whole nother
What culinary creations are going on in
Yes.
your personal
Mary,
life?
thank you for
Thank you,
for
friend,
joining us today.
so much.
Thank you.
There's more studio chatter coming up.